ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಶ್ವಥ್ ವಿನಾಯಕ್ ಕುಲಕರ್ಣಿ ಅಂತ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಡೆಂಟಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇದೆ. ದ ರೀಸನ್ ವೈ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಟು ಯು ಗೈಸ್ my points of view and my understanding of the KPME Act. The KPME Act has been tabled in the Belgaum Assembly by the Karnataka government, and the medical faculty has been protesting, but quite some time. But the government is not listening and is arrogantly bent upon passing the unfair and unjust law. I'm not a legal expert, but when you go through the document and the highlights of the proposed law, it is obvious to anybody with a little bit of common sense that this doesn't make sense. All right. In a nutshell, the law wants to control the private medical establishments, private doctors, private hospitals, private diagnostic centers, private nursing homes, all throughout Karnataka by forming a local committee at the town level or the Zilla level with unqualified people in the medical subject who are going to decide whether the doctor has done right or wrong. The sole aim of this particular law is to bring in an other tool to harass the private sectors and the doctors and hospitals and etc. The doctors, as per this new law, do not even have the basic right to be represented by a lawyer if there is any malpractice allegation on him or her. Now, there are already so many legal mechanisms in place to make sure that for people who do wrong practice or malpractice or medical malpractice or medical negligence or whatsoever, they are punished under the law. There are mechanisms which is very specific to the medical profession, very specific to the dental profession and the healthcare faculty, which does not apply to any other professionals like lawyers or chartered accountants or anybody else. Well, that's a totally different aspect of discussion. But the point is that this specific law, which is being tabled by the Karnataka government, which is led by the Congress, is solely aimed to bring in another tool with which they can threaten and harass the private doctors. Now, the second point, what I want to highlight is that the law aims to achieve is that they want to put a cap on the fee structures of hospitals and private doctors, and it's just so unfair. There are so many challenges to become a doctor in the first place, to become a medical professional in the first place. It's not easy to hold a scalpel and cut open somebody, to remove a tumor, to even diagnose a life-threatening heart disease just by listening through a stethoscope. It's too hard. It needs a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, a lot of motivation, a lot of pushing yourself forward against the flow. And there are so many people trying to control the lives of a doctor. It's really, really unfortunate. Instead of putting in systems to make sure that they are able to deliver their best, they're just trying to put obstacles which are going to stop them or stop us from doing our best. I can only urge the government to improve their pri- you know, their government primary healthcare system, tertiary healthcare system, and the government healthcare system in total, rather than just pointing a finger at the private establishment who are literally self-made organizations, whatever they are. They might be the smallest one, or they might be the biggest hospitals, a chain of hospitals, multinational chains with different hospitals in different countries. Today, look at what healthcare in India is like. There are so many people flying into India for medical treatment, medical tourism. There are companies which are surviving on medical tourism. There are airlines which survive on specialized services for medical tourism. And here we are talking about putting in a law to take us back to the 18th century. And this is totally unfair, totally uncalled for. We are here to serve the people. And trust me, it is not easy to survive or even complete the medical course or even the dental course or nursing course or whatever healthcare course without having a strong sense of service. I have seen so many people who are coming in with a lot of marks, but a lot of they're very intelligent people, but they cannot survive the stress of seeing blood, the stress of continuously working for 16-18 hours, the stress of not eating food on time, the stress of no sleep while you're studying hundreds and different of types of books and research articles and so many things. It is not easy to be a doctor. My only request is that there are already so many things, like so many entrance exams, so many fee structure related problems, and not getting an education loan, trying to sell off their property, their home, their everything to make sure that one of their family members, a daughter or a son, becomes the doctor. Once they come out, they have to struggle again to find a suitable job. It's in the 21st century, doctors are being paid like ridiculous amounts, like 2,000 rupees a month. Are you joking? Nobody can survive on 2,000 rupees a month. And this is the harsh fact of duty doctors. And after that, they struggle for another 2 years, get into super specialty. We struggle so much to make ends meet, buy proper books, buy instruments worth millions of dollars. It's already hard. Please don't make it much more hard. We are here to work with the government and make sure that the public health system is much, much better managed. I come from the dental surgery department, and I have worked in oncology, and I have worked in head and neck trauma under so many great doctors, and it's not easy to bring in things together. Don't just blame the doctor for making the money. There are so many manufacturing companies who make money. There are so many construction guys who make money. There are so many architects, civil engineers, lawyers, chartered accountants, investment companies, logistics companies, pharma companies. So many people are associated in making a money and making sure that a private hospital runs properly. So it's not just the doctors being targeted now, it's everybody in the system who's being targeted, and it's the loss of the general public. At the end of the day, quality of care is an essential thing. Instead of bringing in such laws, I appeal to the government at the state and the center to make sure that you increase the budget in healthcare. You bring in a better chunk of the GDP into healthcare, and make sure wherever there is a railway station, wherever there is a post office, there is a primary healthcare center, which is currently nobody knows about it. And it is right now functioning on the mercy of supernatural forces. And I have been to those places, and that's why my first-hand experience, I can talk to this. So please, I appeal to the government to stop this and focus on development, focus on bringing in new technology, focus on developing medical tourism, creating jobs. One doctor, if he's working or she is working, it brings in a parallel indirect job to 100 other people. So many support staff are required, so many logistic companies are required, so many laboratory technicians are required, so many things can happen. So let's not put our country and our state into the reverse gear. Let's put it into the forward gear. Let's collaborate, let's work together. I mean, I also understand business very closely because I happen to study business studies and how it interacts with healthcare and how technology can be brought into healthcare to bring in more efficiency. I worked with some software companies and it's very interesting. So let's join hands and let's work towards a better healthcare system, which will, I am sure, we can surpass the rest of the world. Look at some of the top physicians, some of the top doctors working in America, in Canada, in UK, in New Zealand, Australia. You will be surprised to see an Indian origin doctor who has studied from Bangalore Medical College or Bombay College or somewhere in Delhi or somewhere in Hyderabad or somewhere in Chennai. We are one of the most intelligent people when it comes to hard work and dedication and understanding the fine intricacies associated with medicine and surgery. And we are able to produce some really outstanding doctors, but they are moving out of the country and working somewhere else just to avoid all this, bureaucratic harassment. I kindly appeal again and again to the government, both at the state and the center, to make sure that a consensus is formed and we can look towards a better future rather than fighting over these things. But at this point of time, I strongly support my colleagues in the medical faculty in their strike, and I apologize from all medical faculty people for the inconvenience caused to outpatient department patients. But unless and until we make some noise, we'll be strangled to death. And this is the only option which is left, and I appeal again to support the medical faculty. Thank you.